It's your Hump Day.
Hump Day, yeah!
High Noon Atlanta radio show for the entrepreneurs to the small business owners and nonprofit organizations hang out for their opportunity to be on the ledge. Now, let's welcome your host, Carl Callender.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry about that. Had a little technical difficulties there. I just want to let you know that we do have a guest today, and welcome to On the Ledge. I appreciate you taking time today. I got my sidekick here, Mr. Bryce, my son.
What's up, everybody?
And I just want to let everybody know it's a great day to be alive, and we appreciate you. Today we have a guest. Her name is Miss Cynthia Prather. Chancellor.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Cynthia?
I am well. How are you?
Doing good. We had a little technical difficulties there, but we got it together. I'm so happy that you're on the show today. And I want
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. I want you to let everybody know who you are and the name of your company. I just gave it out there, but I want you to go in a little bit about what you do and your services. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Cynthia Prather. I am the principal owner at Chancellor Consulting Firm. And what we do is, first of all, we are a federal contractor, and we are registered. And the company is a turnkey company, which I designed to support inventors and entrepreneurs. And I'm so happy to have a team that I have, because everyone on my team is very talented, and so I'm very lucky for that. And what we focus on is IP protection, lender compliance, product development, real estate and reporting, training, and branding.
And branding. Well, let's talk about this real quick. Now, you talk about having a team, and a lot of people think that they have to do it on their own. But when you're out here and you're doing your thing, you have to have a team of people. Can you list some of the professions that you have on your team to make Chancellor what it is today?
Well, first and foremost, I have a patent attorney. I have a specialist in product development. I also have a outstanding young lady who specializes in business formation, and we have a financial advisor and some other people. Forgive me if I am not mentioning everyone, but it's a collective effort, and there's a positive synergy with my team, and everyone is very credible. They're business owners in their own, and heavyweights in their own right. So as I stated before, I'm lucky to have everyone to work with me as my strategic partners.
Nice. I love that. How long have you been established?
I incorporated Chancellor in 2016, and it was funny how it came about. I had been considering a consulting firm after working in corporate America for over 20 years. And one day I woke up and I just decided it's either now or never. So I pulled out my pen, my pad, decided on a name, pretty much designed the logo, slogan, and started creating my infrastructure with my all-star team, back office, administrative items, contract services, and so that's how the birth of Chancellor began.
Nice. Now, I've been on your website several times, and it's very intense. You have a lot of information out there, and you cover a lot of bases. So I just know that you do have a great team, because we've known each other for some years. I'm not going to let everybody know how long, but it's been a while. It's been a while. That's our friendship and everything. I want you to let everyone know how can they reach you, how they can get in touch with you. If you have any social media outlets, just let everyone know how they can reach you.
I will. My office number is 470-705-0399. You can fax Chancellor at 470-705 0409. Email address, my initials, cdp@chancellorconfirm.com. I am out there on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Pinterest, and other social media outlets.
Okay, great. Now, I want you to talk a little bit about, you explained corporate America, but I want you to go in a little bit further on the build up to you starting your company, and of course you being in corporate America. But let us know a little bit more about your background.
Well, I started my professional career 25 to 30 years ago in finance and hospitality, based on my training in education in hospitality and management and product and project management. And fortunately, over that span, I was able to work with amazing companies and outstanding coworkers, and everything was great. My career was doing fabulous, and I decided in 1995 to start working on my first invention. And a year later, I incorporated my company, Toy Technologies, Inc. And thereafter, took about 2 years, I received my certification for a utility patent. Okay. And so it was very overwhelming and exciting to see my work in the official Gazette, which is published through the USPTO, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office, in July of 1999. So it was a very proud moment for me.
Right.
And and immediately after that, I started thinking about other ideas that I could develop and work on, because you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. You can just add to it to create a uniqueness. And so I just tapped into my creativity, and around 2010 and 2011, I started my own travel blog, and I named that Gumbo Hospitality International, also known as GHI Leisure. And so I hired some students from historically black colleges and universities. Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, while I had all of this going on, I was doing a lot of volunteer work. And what I realized after I looked over my history, the common denominator is I've always desired to serve humanity with sharing my time, prosperity, knowledge, and life experiences.
And yes, and you are a parent too, right? You are a mom.
I am a mom. I am a mom.
So, and I'll ask this question, but I know the answer. How do you juggle all these things at one time? It's
honestly, I thank my Heavenly Father for that, for giving me grace and mercy, because that's one of a lot of us, what we are faced with, and that is work-family balance. Mm-hmm. And with my daughter, I somewhat incorporate her into some of the things that I do. For example, there was one weekend where it rained the entire weekend, and I created some flyers for Chancellor, and I took my daughter out to the mall for an outing, wanting her to understand what it looks like up close and personal to be an entrepreneur, to not start out at the high level and sit behind a desk, but we went out to the mall short of kissing babies. So It was an opportunity for my daughter to shake hands and introduce herself. And so that's how I create that synergy, is to create a environment of inclusion with my daughter.
Nice. I love to hear the part where entrepreneurs take time to pass that information down to their children, to give them the insight. They already see what goes on behind the closed doors, but they don't actually see when you're out in front of people, shaking hands, going to conferences, networking, and I know that was a great experience for her. So I'm so happy that you did that. Talk about your I want you to talk a little bit about your invention, because the main subject of this show is talking about intellectual property protection. So by you being able to go through that process, can you just let everyone know what type of invention you have and some of the steps that you had to go through to protect your creativity?
Well, my first invention is a toy. Actually, it's a battery-operated vehicle with a containment system. And when I first started, my ideas were added to paper first, design, drawings, and I went to work with a company, a consulting firm, to help guide me as far as technology reports, marketing, advertising, and to incorporate my company, Toy Technologies, to basically set the company up properly, because sometimes we incorporate companies, we don't take into consideration bylaws, minutes, and corporate veil or anything like that. So I knew I wanted to do it right, and I made sure that I was a part of every aspect of the development process. And with a patent, it can be very lengthy. It took literally 2 years for me to receive an approval from the government. And even with that, sometimes you can go into office actions that need to be defended by a patent attorney. Mm-hmm. And so it's a very intricate process, and it can be very time consuming. But what I tell my clients, and it's the same principle I live by, is that you have to stay focused and you never, ever stop believing in yourself.
Right. I was just about to ask you that, that long process being like that, that is like it's an emotional drain. And I'm just thinking about that, waiting 2 years and going through that process and fighting for yourself and never giving up. That's why we're here today. That's what we're talking about. Another question that I have is, you talked about that first invention. So did the second invention that you created, did that go a little easier, a little faster?
Well, I have several that are in the developmental phase. Mm-hmm. And yes, it's definitely easier. I have a broader concept of how I want to do things, how I want to market, what SIC code my invention should fall under. And before really investing in an invention, the first thing you want to do is do a patent search. And people say to me, well, Cynthia, why would I want to do that rather than going directly into filing for a hardcore patent? And I always say it's the difference between going out to the Weather Channel before you go on vacation or you go to an event or just going out cold turkey. You definitely want some information ahead of time to see when is a good time to enter the market, mm-hmm. or if someone else out there has a similar idea. And great minds think alike. And so I always say it's whoever crosses the finish line first, whoever has their information timed and stamped first, because you can be here in Georgia and someone in Nebraska, you have the same idea and concept. So if you are very passionate about it, I would say move forward with your ideas, similar to your slogan, this is for jumpers only.
Right.
So you have to be, I want to say, very diligent. And for me, I'm still working, developing some additional concepts, and it never really stops in you. You start with one, and then it just balloons and blossoms and, to something different.
Right.
And so I'm happy to be able to engage in innovation.
Okay. I love that. Let me ask now, let's talk about your support system. Of course, you have your support system business-wise, but on personal level, who supports you? Who can you lay your head, put your head on their shoulder when times get rough? Do you have anyone or people that back you when you know those days you have your good days and your bad weeks and your good weeks? Who do you look for? Who do you look to?
I like to call those people my first responders, because anyone who truly knows me, they know that I will brainstorm at any time of the day, in the wee hours of the morning, and I may need to reach out to that lifeline and call you and say, hey, I need for you to take a look at this idea. What do you think? And I wanted to take a moment to say I really appreciate all of my family, my friends, my business colleagues who have labored with me through my journey, because I am a very passionate person, and I don't stop. I don't sleep until I'm satisfied with results. And most of my close and dear friends, they recognize that about me, and they are super patient with me. So I just want to say thank you to all of my supporters. It really has made the difference between me going to the next level and being stagnant.
Nice. Well, I do know you are very detailed and you're very focused. Even setting up for the show last week, you made sure I gave you all the information. All the information. So I truly appreciate that, and I truly respect you for what you do and what you stand for. Tell me some of the volunteer work that you do, because you do some volunteer work, and I just want people to know you're also business, but you also give too. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
I have, over the past 20 years, I have been involved in Habitat for Humanity, Meals on Wheels, different women's shelter outlets, and different innovation type of platforms. One in particular is Liquid Studios, and it has been a empowering moment for me, because I do enjoy giving back to the community. That's the core fiber of who I am. I am a philanthropist at heart and a humanitarian, so it brings me great joy to be able to provide knowledge into the community and to network and bring people together. Mm-hmm. And so that is one of the things that drives me, is to be able to help and give back.
Nice. Let's talk about some of the people that influence you. Is there anyone per se that we may not know and may be a celebrity? Is there anyone that you look up to, or you say, hey, on social media or even a TV show, talk show? Is there anyone that motivates you, get you fired up?
Honestly, my mentors are anyone and anything that motivates me in a positive fashion to influence, ladder of influence or inference. Mm-hmm. And I always like to be aware and knowledgeable whenever I make an informed decision, especially when it has to do with best practices. So I feel that, and I've always believed that it's okay to seek advice from a council of wealth of wisdom.
Right.
So I cannot pinpoint one particular person or thing. I just know that there's so much information out there, and not one person holds it all. And it's just so important to go out. I do enjoy reading blogs and vlogs and watching documentaries, and I gravitate towards historical movies and documentaries, and so I'm just intrigued by the amount of information that's out there readily available for us.
Nice. Can you name one or two blogs that you usually go to that you read on a consistent basis?
To be honest with you, I kind of take a look at whatever's trending. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I do that is just to keep myself abreast of real-time information. So I don't have a preference of one over the other. Okay. And there is a particular read that I just finished not too long ago, and that is a book by Jack. The title of the book is Jack Welch Speaks. Mm-hmm. And the next read I would like to participate in is The Master Motivator.
Okay.
So I'm kind of diverse at the information that I ingest. And so I just don't want to be swayed in totally one direction. I intake it all.
Right. All right. Let me see something here because I was curious about, I want to go back a little bit about corporate America. What was it or what things that were going on in corporate America that driven you to become an entrepreneur?
Well, there were a lot of positive things that I experienced in corporate America. I was afforded an opportunity to engage in a lot of positive opportunities. At one company I was working for, I was selected to be a hostess at a golf classic where I interacted with a lot of celebrities, and it just started an avalanche from that point. And I received a lot of accolades and awards from management, my peers, and I was very happy and elated that people were acknowledging my performance. But I also knew that who I am as a person, that I didn't necessarily feel the need to go to the highest executive level, because I knew if I was smart enough to be a CEO for somebody else's company, I was smart enough to be the founder, CEO, and chairman of my own.
Hopefully everybody heard that. Can you just say that one more time, please?
If I was smart enough to be an executive, a senior executive of someone else's company, I was smart enough to be a founder, CEO, and chairman of my own.
That speaks volumes right there. I love that. A lot of people don't understand their self-worth. You be on a job, and let me tell you something. I'm gracious for the jobs that I have because they put me in a position and a drive and a motivation for where I am today. But there's a time that you have to understand that, hey, I could do a lot of things. All I have to do is just believe into myself that I can accomplish anything that I want. And when you're on a job, you're going by other people's rules and not by yours. And I know you experienced that yourself. So let's do this. Once again, I know we're getting short on time here. I want to make sure that you explain how people can get in touch with you again, because they heard it at the beginning of the show, but we need to make sure we do that one more time before we leave out. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do that one more time. Go ahead. Okay.
Chancellor Consulting Firm, direct contact number 470-705-0399. You can reach me directly at extension 101, fax number 470-705-0409. My email address, CDP, my initials, at chancellorconfirm.com. Our website is chancellorconfirm.com.
Thank you so very much. Miss Cynthia D. Prather, I want to thank you so much for joining the show. You were supposed to be here, but of course you're a very busy lady, and I'm just happy that you took time to call in today, because like you said before, the show never stops. So you made time, and I greatly appreciate it. The fans did too. And I'm trying to figure out something here. Let's do this, because I don't want to cut this off. I want to make sure, who are your ideal clientele? Who have you worked with? And just let everybody know all the services that you do one more time, please.
Okay. And before I get into that, Carl, I would like to say thank you for the show, as well as thank you for your service. My family is a military-oriented family, and I appreciate all of the efforts of all of our service women and men.
Okay. And I appreciate that. My engineer's telling me we only have 30 seconds, so...
So there's a difference between a new business owner, a seasoned owner, and what I would like to do is suggest that whatever area you fall into, new or seasoned, training, seminars, teleconference, you cannot get enough training and to further educate yourself in your craft.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. You just got through listening to the CEO, Miss Cynthia D. Prather of Chancellor Consulting Firm, LLC. And you are on the Real 1100, and thank you. Till next time.
And boom, there it is. Thank you for listening to On the Ledge with Carl Callender. Don't fall off. Be sure to come back next week. See you then.